Welcome back to the lab, guys. Apologies for missing yesterday's video. Nearly did 2 months straight, the video every day. Not a bad effort considering all things going on. Let's have a look at what I'm up to today. There was a tiny little bit happened yesterday, but it wasn't worth filming. We'll see that too. So in the front end here, there's a few more bolts. Bolt, 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 bolt. Lots of bolts, more bolts. So what's happened there is the fuel tank's been out. I've repaired a couple of tiny little things I wasn't happy with that. Did something with the structure underneath here, tidied that up and gave it some more strength, etc. Put some sealant on there, put all the bolts in there. She's done. It's not polished. I haven't got any heat reflective tape on it or anything. But for now, for what we're doing at this point in time, that's ready. Well, the sealant's probably cured by now, I would imagine, but that's ready to put fuel in. And we're up for dyno tuning and testing and all that sort of carry on. We should be okay. There's a couple of tiny little things still to finish off in this general area. Obviously, there's no proper paint in here. That may or may not happen. We'll just see how that goes. We need to put the tube for the header tank. Forgot to get that actually while I was at our good mates at Repco this morning. I could have got some silicone hose for that. Forgot to do that. And a better seal at the firewall there and some insulation on some harness and stuff. But that's basically, it's pretty much in there. Good. Back here, firewall's gone again. But there's some more bolts. You can see I literally just put those in a couple of minutes ago. More bolts, see? Bolt, bolt, bolt. Those bolts on that bracket there. So we checked with Motorsport New Zealand. It's kosher to put a bracket onto here, onto the harness bar, etc. They're okay with that, but basically just tack welds, right? So not full Monty weld the whole thing. They wanted just tack welds, just I guess to maintain the strength of the tube and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's not actually going to make it weaker. It's going to make it stronger, but hey, whatever. Do that. Keep them happy. So I was thinking about doing similar to this one onto here, just to try and tie things in a little bit further and make it a bit more gutsy, a bit stronger. We don't have one on the other side to attach to, and realistically by the time we've put this bracket here and with the shape of this panel and attachment down there, there will be another bolt down at this corner here as well, through here into this. She's pretty rigid, does move, but not a heck of a lot. You've got to put quite a bit of force on that. So for what that's trying to do, we just want to maintain a good seal between the panel that's here and this. I don't think we need to attach to here. I think that's just probably overkill, waste of time. So that, at that point, is basically ready. We can put some paint on those bars now. And on the back side of the panels down at the bottom and all that sort of carry on. The engine really kind of sort of needs to come out to do that. But there's a couple other things we can do before we get to that point. I'll literally just take everything out of the way. I'll put some blocks of wood under the car or some sawhorses or whatever and undo the attaching points for the engine gearbox and all that. Lift the body up, throw a sheet over the top of the motor and we'll paint those bars. We don't want to do that with seats in here and BMW and all that. We could spread the covers out a bit better than that. Somewhere over there it is. I can see it. That there, that's 2 lots of that stuff there, and that's going to go all over the firewall on this side of the firewall, to try and keep the cabin cooler. And also I found that the aluminium was okay, but it did deteriorate over time. After 4 years it looked kind of scody on the inside here and you just couldn't make it look nice. It was just had that old aluminium, raw aluminium look to it. So we'll literally gold plate all that this time and make it look fantastic. So let's put some more panels in, put some more riv nuts in, all that sort of carry on, and we'll get on with that. Who was that idiot on YouTube that had a rubbish paint job and was like Always clean your gun. Someone should tell him he should clean his gun. Come on. What the... That's why you get a bad result. I mean, there's actually... Who knows when I clean this last. There's blue on things, and I haven't used blue paint in years since I had the 300ZX. It's been a long time since I put paint on that, so... Look after your gear. Duh. We've got... I might just use the new pot. Oh, even that's not new, is it? Even that's not clean, really? Far out. Never mind. So that's... I'll let that stuff soak. I'll clean that up. I will clean it. I've secured, and I use that term loosely, those panels to the B-pillars there. Like I said, I was going to weld something on there, and I could have, and it would have been stronger, but what we're attaching to there, right next to that gaping big hole that's supposed to be for the seatbelt mechanism, is pretty much tin foil anyway, and I mean, it's not the loveliest welding holding that all together now anyway, is it? So that will be sufficient. I'm going to take all these bits to pieces. I'm going to push the BMW outside. Actually, I'm going to throw a whole heap of stuff outside that I don't want overspray on. And take this out, obviously. And we'll paint these bars that are in behind here. We might get a better job than this mess. This disgusting mess. No, I'm not going to... I could, couldn't I? I could actually give that a bit of a sand. It's only really on the top that there's any issues. Give it a sand on the top there. Mask it off and fix that. We'll see. Probably won't happen. Oh, so much for taking the engine out. Some lazy fellow just did it with the engine in there. It will look okay. Not a show car, remember? So I'm not going to paint the whole cage. Not going to paint the whole car. Just tidy up what we've done at the moment. And get her going. Because, excuse everything in the way. See, I told you I'll put that outside out of the way. The wind's blowing towards us, by the way. We've just had an announcement today for the starting dates for the next season for Super Lap. It's next year, so that's all right. January, I don't know, 8th and 9th, something like that, like the second weekend, technically, of January. So, gives us a bit of time, but not heaps. December's always a write-off. Don't expect to get anything done in December. And so it really leaves us with the rest of October and November. This is only primer on here. I mean, it's actually close, isn't it? This is the silver with the clear coat on it. Most of it. Some of it hasn't got clear coat. Like I said earlier, I wasn't actually particularly well when I did all this. This here is just bare primer, and I mean the colour match is pretty close. If you had to get it going in a hurry, you could just prime it and send it. Bit of silver on there, just like magic. Still reckon I should have done red. Too hard to get hold of though, and a lot more work. Heaps more work. Like I said, it's good at showing up every single little defect. Reasonably good looking welding, the paint is silver. Suddenly it looks terrible. Never mind. It's the way it goes. This is going to be good. Look how much room we've got. This is great. Already spoken with someone about a dooflicky, a ear holdy, controlly movie thingy, a new plenum. We'll see whether that plays out or not. It's not going to happen in the short term, but long term we could have something pretty cool on there. Right, clear coat is brewing away there, getting ready to go on the gun. Always mix it up in the pot and leave it, or cup as it may be, and leave it for a few minutes for it to start to activate and do its thing before you smash it on there and you get a better result. Like when you clean your paint gun, you get a better result. Yes. Alright, it looks good. Not perfect. Good. It's silver. It's shiny. It's protected from rust. And that's all we need. Some bits of it are actually better than the original paint job was by a long shot, but that's not what the goal was. It was just to get it the right colour, shiny, look after it so it doesn't rust. I've done that. Tomorrow when this is dry, look, I even fixed that mess over there. See that door bar that was all yucky? It's not now. Well, it's sort of a little bit yucky, but it's definitely not as yucky as it was. So when tomorrow it comes along and all this is dry, we can put the firewall back in. It'll be exciting. Things will start looking sort of closer to finished. Good stuff. Alright, that'll do. Another day, another bracket. Actually, factually correct for today. Like I say, we'll put most of the firewall back together tomorrow and see how it looks. Thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.